Hello everyone and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition, the cutest warlock couple on the Sword Coast. Last time we just nipped up there, killed some spiders and the like, and let's see if our woeful passive perceptions can let us know that there's something interesting around here. That's one failure. That's two failures. We are not going to find out about the little hidey hole behind there, which contains some goblins that we would have loved to have killed, especially with Wyll. But we'll have to wait until we approach from the alternate direction. Something happening up here on the road, though.
Something's wrong.
Remember, look for the helpers.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
I thought we were supposed to graphically see the marks that glow these days, but I guess so far not. Let's get in there with some medicine. And we're not going to use guidance because they would freak out if you were casting a spell unbeknownst to them in the middle of a conversation. But who needs it? Bit of lag there, interesting.
He's hurt badly, and Owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head.
Hold the stare.
Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brynna. New recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He's a true soul. Mind him. He will... He...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
Forget the owlbear. You're still alive. Just keep being alive.
Leave Ed.
This guy's haircut. Can we talk about it for a minute?
Want us to go on.
This is the worst haircut I've ever seen.
Absolute
Ever.
guide us.
Absolute true soul. What's all that about? This could spell trouble.
So, no worms screaming out of his head? We're not having that? Oh, we are.
He's dead, but something shifts beneath his features. A glistening tadpole emerges, slithering up past a sightless eyeball. The same as the creature behind your eye.
Crush it.
One squeeze should do it, but you stop short. How could you think of harming something so beautiful, so pure?
What do we have? Insight. And here, because this is not a standard conversation, we will take guidance. It's not going to help us, though.
No use. Your mind is not your own. For reasons you can't explain, you want it to live. It slithers away and vanishes into the undergrowth. Safe. Free.
Oh, but it's still there. Come on, we can hit that. Between the two of us, we can hit that.
Made a grave mistake.
Yeah, give me that sweet, sweet XP. Can we investigate the corpse? Or is it just going to sit there? If you think that something apparently that size is inside of our head, I don't think those two models quite match up for size and scale.
Oh, did you see that thing? He had a tadpole in his head, same as us. Who is this god of theirs? What does this mean?
I think it's just a coincidence.
Coincidence? They think we're one of them. First the brain bug, then I'm feeling you in my head, and now these true souls. It's all connected, but how?
We should definitely make sure we use our illithid powers in time, because with them we will be able to get whatever our new illithid power is. And I haven't seen the Warlock illithid power, so that should be a good fun surprise down the line. I do not need a scrapwood shield, so let's just carry on west. Any food or supplies we can use here? We'll pick up some expensive cutlery. And free cash. All going to a good cause. Our feed and clothe ourselves fund. Hopefully with some +1 equipment eventually. Man, I feel like this stuff is worth more this time round than it was in the past. So down there is the Owlbear Cave. I think we will hold off on doing that just yet. We will, of course, embrace the carrots.
Dead travelers.
You must embrace the
Heading
carrots.
to the Druid's Grove?
Cash and tools we will take. We'll leave the armor and weapons. We don't really have the strength to carry that much extra. But food and potions, all that stuff. Happily add it to our arsenal. Right. Up ahead there is a small risk of something bad happening, but we have our illithid powers at the moment, I think, so we'll see how this goes. As ever, our passive perception continues to be awful. It's going to be a real challenge for us progressing through this campaign.
Well, boys. Looks like we got ourselves a trespasser. Don't bother running. My archer's got decent aim and plenty of arrows.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Right, so let's use our illithid powers here. So it shows difficulty class at 0, however it does say that a nat 1 is always a failure. Fortunately, that's not a concern today.
You're a true soul. But my mistake, madam.
A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
You'll get no more trouble from us. Promise.
And I think I saw as we were going into that, yes, we have leveled up to level 3, so we will take our 3rd level Warlock. So as a great old one, we get a Pact boon, Pact of the Chain. Gain the service of a familiar, a face spirit that takes the form you choose. This can be an animal, imp, or a quasit. Not a quaist, as I so incorrectly said for so long. And we get a 2nd level spell. So the big candidates here are Shatter, It's pretty good. Hellish Rebuke could be alright, except I don't like the interface for doing reactions here. Detect Thoughts could be very interesting. I've not had chance to use it in conversations in the last playthrough because none of us had that spell prepared, given that we were mainly marshals. So let's do that. Let's take Shatter here. And do we feel like we want to replace a spell? No, I'm pretty happy with how things are. So Grace is going to get Shatter and Pact of the Chain. And then Wyll, who has more proficiencies with different... Wait, does he get different spells? Do we not get Detect Thoughts here? Okay, well, in that case, we're going to take Scorching Ray as our second level spell. And that is because if something is hexed, we hurl out 3 rays of fire. On each ray of fire, we get a chance to do 1d6 extra necrotic damage. So if we get 3 hits, it would be 6d6 fire damage, 3d6 necrotic damage, which is just great. Oh, we also get the Pact of the Chain, even though we're the Fiend. Okay. That's because this isn't a subclass feature, it's a pact feature, and there aren't other pacts in the game yet. Okay. I'm figuring it out. Do we still want Witch Bolt, or do we rather something else? The other thing to remember is that with a Warlock, all of your spells will always be cast at the highest possible level. So even if we cast a level 1 spell now, it will always be cast at level 2 because we have level 2 spell slots now. Arms of Hadar, Hex, Witch Bolt. I think this is fine between the two of us. Alright, so it's not exactly what I wanted, but it is what we're going to get. Maybe when we get to level 4 we'll change out for the spell that lets us... what's the words I want? Brain. Detect Thoughts on Grace. I was going to take it with Wyll because in Will's proficiencies, Grace has +3 to the charisma skills, whereas Wyll,
Defender of the people,
has +5 in intimidation at the very least. So he has a higher verbal skills, charisma skills, so I thought we would take Detect Thoughts on the person with more speech options in conversations. That thought took me a long time to get out of my brain. So here in the village we have the blacksmiths, the potion makers, the ogres, the windmill, but just behind here,
keeping pace.
if we sneak on round the back of here,
Round and round and
there is a scrawny bugbear over here who's a little bit drunk and been doing some digging. So we'll take that. I'm also going to take a shovel. I think I read somewhere that there are sites that you can dig with a shovel to actually find equipment now, which is interesting. We should also definitely get our familiars out, so we can have spider, raven, rat, frog, crab, cat, imp, and quasit. So why not have one of each? Because this does not cost a spell slot. We can just have as many familiars as we fancy summoning as we go through things. So I will obviously forget to do that a lot moving forwards, but for right now we have them and it's great. Now, we should definitely get rid of this scrawny bugbear, so... That is a lovely critical hit. What can we do with our Quasit? Invisible, Scare, and Claws. Right, well, between us...
Have a lot on my mind.
We've just doubled the members of our party. So that's going to make duos a lot easier. And with such a vast group of numbers,
The gods are watching me.
let's see what's happening in the barn. I wonder if Wyll has anything different to say, or whether he thinks getting rid of evil in all consequences, all conditions, versions. My brain cannot do words today.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattled the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun.
Hello?
Go away!
I mean, we're not gonna though, are we?
What the hell are you doing?
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Wind. Smash! Oh, smash you!
Right, we've done well in initiative. Let's keep Wyll and Grace at a reasonable distance from these folks. Should we just start here? 17 damage for the failed save is great. Should have hexed first, that's on me. But for now, I'm just going to move back 30 feet. Then Wyll, you're up. Will we... These big words. We will use Hex with someone. Now, this is going to be an important thing to remember. Hex uses a spell slot. And in 5th edition rules, you cannot cast 2 leveled spells in the same turn with an action and a bonus action. If you cast a leveled spell with your bonus action, such as Hex, your main action can be used to cast a spell, but that spell must be a cantrip. So as much as we would like to use Scorching Ray right now to try and proc Hex 3 times, we can't. We must use Eldritch Blast first. But we get a good amount of damage out of that as well. And we're going to move out to here. And then we have Quasit. Do we have enough movement to get in? Not really. But we can try and scare someone from the doorway. And Bertha is frightened as well. Excellent. Alright, the Quasit is dead. However, Bertha's fear remains, which is wonderful. We can sting for 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage, 1d6 poison. We can go invisible, or we can claw for 1d4 plus 3. So why wouldn't you sting when you can? And then we're very quickly back to the top of the order. Right, let's get our Hex going as well. I believe they patched it so you can now have 2 different people focusing on the same foe with Hex, which is nice. But obviously, if Wyll attacks Grucko now, his hex won't proc because he's concentrating on the other creature. But it is possible to have them both concentrating on hexes on the same creature. Alright. Fear has been removed, and she now has Bertha's Wrath. Strength increased by 4, armor class reduced by 2. So her strength to hit is increased by 2 because she's gained 4 strength. However, they had to dash to get over to us. But it's also going to be easier to hit them now. That's a huge attack, that is. Right up in their face, we're going to attack with... Oh, we're going to reapply our hex first. Then Eldritch Blast is only 64%, whereas our melee attack is 80%, so we'll go with the melee attack. They didn't take extra... Oh, they did take 1 necrotic damage. That's fine. And then Wyll is already concentrating on hex against this creature. And we have a pretty good Eldritch Blast chance from here. Well, these two make quite the pair. We'll take the gold. Let's see what Wyll has to say about all that.
I can't help but feel guilty. We interrupted their togetherness.
We did the world a favour. Imagine if they had offspring.
Don't have to imagine it. I felled a few half-ogres in my day. The Sword Coast is better off without one more. That's for sure.
Well, I'm glad we didn't upset him too much. So we're both now concentrating on our respective hexes.
Press ahead.
We can reapply those to enemies that we find in the future before we take a rest or end the day. In here, there's a lovely mangled corpse. Nothing going on with that. There's some books, a couple of containers, might have some food or bits.
I'm spent. I should unwind in camp.
Otherwise, I think that is as good a place as any to end things for today. These guys showing themselves ever more capable with just the two. The last thing I will do before I forget, we will get back our lovely little closet. Alright, well, thank you ever so much for joining me today. If you're enjoying this series, please do consider liking or hitting that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.